Okay, guys, so we are live on our first webinar, pre-departure webinar for this March meeting. Welcome all who are watching us in this pre-departure training. I will now present the awesome people that are joining us today to talk about the March meeting that is right around the corner. First, I would like to apologize for the background sound. I'm currently staying in a hostel, and this is the um, finest place I could find, but it's kind of noisy. So I apologize beforehand for the noise that you might hear in the background. So first, I would like to introduce our lovely participant for today. First, my name is Ignacia Alvarez. I'm the Regional Director for the Americas, and I will be joining you for the pre-GA and for the GA, the March meeting. Up next, we have Rodrigo, that just logged off, sorry. We have Carlos Acosta, he's our regional assistant for SCORA issues. Carlos, would you like to say some introduction words?
Just hi, and we're going to dance a lot in the March meetings. Prepare your to do that. That will be good.
Thank you, Carlos. We have also Diego, our awesome involvement assistant. Diego, can you say some welcoming words to our awesome participants that are joining us today?
Yeah, so hi guys, I'm Diego. I'm the involvement assistant of the Americas. So my first year was in Denmark, Copenhagen, in August meeting 2011. So I have a lot of J. So yeah, and I'm really glad to be working with you, and I'm really looking forward to see you all in this March meeting.
Cool, and now we have Matthew, our external invited.
Hi.
Matthew, can you introduce yourself to our lovely people watching this webinar today?
So, hi, my name is Matthew. I'm the Public Relations Officer for the March Meeting 2016 Organizing Committee, and I'm from Malta.
Thank you, Matthew. So he will be our OC person. He will be answering some questions that we will discuss now in the webinar. So I will just show my face now. So for those who are just joining us, the idea of this webinar is to go through different items and post on the agenda, also sharing some tips and tricks on how to take full advantage of the GA that's right around the corner. Rodrigo just logged in again. Rodrigo, can you please introduce yourself?
It's me?
Yes.
Sorry. Hey guys, this is Rodrigo. I'm from Brazil, and I'm the Scope Regional Assistant for the Americas, and I work with the exchanges around the Americas. So it's me, okay? And can't wait to see you guys in Malta.
Cool, thank you. So now we will present the slides that we prepared for you. Okay. So can you guys please tell me if you are seeing my screen now, because I cannot see you. Guys in the webinar?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So the content for today's webinar. First, we will discuss some general information about the country, Malta, with Matthew, our external. Then we will go through the main logistics for the GA, the transportation, the hotels, the venue, the food. We will also introduce you to awesome mobile phone applications the OC prepared for us. We will review the agenda, each point of the agenda, so you can be better prepared for each session. We will briefly discuss our awesome Americas Regional Sessions agenda. Finally, we will share some tips and tricks for the GA and some plenary Q&As. And lastly, we will open the floor for you guys to share your questions or concerns regarding the GA. So, Matthew, this is a picture of Malta I found on the internet. Can you tell us a little bit about your country? For example, we would like to know maybe what's the average price cost of a water bottle, of maybe a Big Mac, or some average items that you could share with us so we can be better prepared on the cost of Malta.
Side note, that picture is Valletta, which is our capital city. So basically, Malta is, well, it consists of a series of islands, the main one being Malta itself, which is where we're going to be having the GA. Malta is 27 kilometers long by 14 kilometers wide. So basically, your trip from the airport to the hotel should last 25 minutes tops, and you'll be basically crossing the entire island. With regards to price ranges, a bottle of water usually costs between €1 and €2, depending on where you buy it from. A Big Mac would cost €5.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd like any other price comparisons.
Do you have any special regulations in terms of tobacco control or other kind of laws that you think will be important for the participants to know? Like, is it forbidden to smoke in closed places in Malta?
With regards to what, sorry?
To smoking in closed areas or public areas.
Smoking is not permitted indoors, and it's only permitted in certain areas designated outdoors. So you have to be careful according to the regulations of the respective hotels. In our case, the hotels are non-smoking indoors, so any smoking must be carried out off hotel premises.
Okay, that's a very important thing to know. Matthew, what language do you speak in Malta? That's a very interesting question for us that do not knew before Malta, before we met, I must say. Can you tell us a little bit more about your language?
So, in Malta, we're bilingual. So we have two official languages. The first one being Maltese, which is also our national language, and the second one being English. Just brief background, Maltese is a huge hodgepodge of a lot of languages just bashed into one. It's basically Arabic, Italian, French, some Spanish, some Greek, a little bit of, and a huge ton of English, all mashed into one big language.
Cool, that sounds very interesting. Okay, and Matthew, last question about Malta. How's the weather right now in your lovely country? How should we prepare in terms of clothing for the GA?
Right. Apparently, we're having a very warm January right now, so hopefully that will last through to March. Usually, March, it's very mild. It's springtime, so we usually advise that you wear a light jacket most of the time. On certain days it can be very warm. We're experiencing a very, very warm February right now, so temperatures are between 20 degrees and 10 degrees, depending on if it's the time of day. So don't pack snow clothes or anything. We never get snow here. Pack light.
Cool, that's a very important tip. Does any of you guys want to ask any questions to Matthew that you think might be important for the participants? If no, just say no because I cannot watch you. Rodrigo, Carlos? Okay, I think no questions. I cannot read the chat just in case. Rodrigo, you have any question?
I have a question. I
Yeah?
wonder about the transportation to the venue from.
Yeah, we have a next slide. So yeah, Matthew, regarding transportation, as Rodrigo said, we would like to know about transportations for those arriving on the arrival day and for those arriving maybe before or later. Can you hear me?
Nudge, I think he left us.
Okay. So I think he might be having some connection issues.
Okay, I can add some of the info probably.
Yes.
Okay, so not about transportation to the venue, but it's also very pleasant to visit like the other islands. So you can take a 15-minute ferry if you're having a little bit of spare time. It will be nice for you to take a 15-minute ferry from the main island to the peripheral islands.
Hello.
Okay, Matthew's back.
Hi, sorry about that.
It's fine. Matthew, we were just discussing about the transportation for those arriving on the arrival day and for those arriving maybe before or after the arrival day. What are the options for them?
Okay, certainly. For those of you arriving, well, the main thing we're trying to push right now is that you finalize your personal details on the website as quickly as possible, so we can cater to providing you transport as much as possible. In terms of arriving on the arrival days, these being the 27th for the pre-GA and the 2nd of March for the GA, we are providing transport free of charge from the airport to the hotel. We'll be going in groups, so depending on your arrival times, which is why we're stressing as much as possible that you fill in your personal details online, you'll be taken to the hotel in groups. If you are arriving outside the arrival days, we suggest that you contact us as soon as possible so that we can either advise you on public transportation services, or we can organize transport for you accordingly at a small charge.
Cool. And do you have a limit time in the arrival day? Like, will you be picking up people during the opening ceremony and so on, or?
We will be offering transport during the opening ceremony. It may not be as frequent as it would be before the opening ceremony. We will be transferring people with our own transport from the hotels to the opening ceremony venue.
Okay, cool. And for those arriving early, maybe that will not need transportation from the OC, what are the options available in terms of public transportation? Could you provide some input
Certainly.
on this?
In Malta, we only have buses and taxis. We don't have trains and we don't have a subway because it's too small and it wouldn't be financially feasible. There is quite a vast public transportation system. It's quite easy to understand. As soon as you arrive in the airport, there's a transport hub where you can get some information about the buses and how to go about it from there. With regards to prices, if I'm not mistaken, I think a day ticket is around €2, which is not too bad. If I were you, if you consider taking a taxi, I would opt for a private company as opposed to white taxis, which are the ones that wait outside the hotel, because they usually charge exorbitant prices. Whereas if you book with a company, they'll be able to offer you a deal which is better.
Okay, and to take the bus, the public bus, will the bus leave you somewhere near to the hotel we're staying at?
Yes. Ask them for the bus that goes to Bujibba, which is Bugibba. And it will, and there's a bus sort of station right next to the hotel. So as long as you have the address for the hotel, they'll be able to direct you exactly to where you have to go. The hotel is literally a minute away from the hotel.
Okay, very nice. That's very nice information for those arriving early. There's bus option, which is apparently very cheap. And for those of you arriving in Europe, maybe your best option you will be sharing a taxi. So that's regarding the transportation. About the menu, can you tell us a little bit about the hotels that we're staying at? It's the same place that the GA will take place on? There's different places.
Sure.
Could you maybe?
PGA and GA will both be taking place in the town of St. Paul's Bay, which is in the northeast part of Malta. The first hotel we'll be using for the pre-GA is the Dolmen Hotel, which is a 4-star resort hotel. We'll also be using this hotel for the GA, but in supplementation to this, we'll also be using the hotel next door, which is called the San Antonio Hotel. Karim is here right now, and he can tell you himself, the hotels are literally a road apart. You can physically throw a rock and hit the other hotel. So they are extremely close to each other. Most of the sessions will be taking place in the Dolmen Hotel, including the conference facilities and the plenaries. In the San Antonio Hotel, we'll be having more accommodation, and we'll be having some extra rooms for training sessions, standing committee sessions, and activity fairs.
Okay, and will the opening ceremony and the social programs take place in the same area, or we will require transportation to take us?
We will be providing transport free of charge to the opening ceremony, which is going to be taking place quite far away from the venue. However, nearly all our other parties will be taking place within the vicinity of the hotel, and also within bars and clubs that are owned by the hotel itself. So most of the time, there won't be any need to take any transport. We are encouraging walking because nearly all the bars are, all the party locations are within walking distance. If you do require transport, even though venues are literally a 5-minute walk away, we'll be providing that at the charge.
Okay, awesome. And you just told us that for the opening ceremony, we will require transportation.
That's
Do you know?
the opening ceremony will be free of charge.
Okay, and do you know right now the time that people need to be ready, or that information is not available yet?
Yes, we've set the time. Ideally, we're thinking of starting the plenary by 4, and we need to be beginning to leave the hotel at around 7:15, so that by 8 o'clock we arrive at the venue.
Okay, so I think this is very, very important information. And regarding the food, I saw in the application that you will have a system of ordering food for next day. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Right. So basically, food is going to work like this. Breakfast and dinner will be buffet, whereas lunch you can order through the app, or which I'll talk about very soon, and the website. You'll be putting orders for the food of your choosing for lunch, and you do that the day before. And that's pretty much it for the lunch.
And should the participant do it, or the head of delegation, or how will that work?
Well, we're going to be, ideally, each person registers themselves. However, we will be going around as an OC, so if anyone has any problems ordering their food, we can order it for them together.
Okay, perfect. So breakfast and dinner buffet, and lunch, remember that you will need to order that before, the day before. So, and there are more pictures about the venue. And next we have about the official GA app. Could you tell us a little bit of that?
So the app will be officially launched on Sunday. However, we are planning to use this as a hub for the entire GA. You will be using this app to meet new friends. It's in its way a kind of social networking app. You can share details with each other. We're going to have news outlets, live tweets. There's going to be a copy of the agenda as well as an interactive map, so that you can get around the hotels and know exactly where you are in relation to other sites of interest around the island. We also have some information about speakers and also some information about our sponsors. We also have the opportunity to allow you to rank the respective speakers. So this will give them direct feedback on how their sessions are and what you've taken from their sessions.
Oh, cool. And this app will be available for iPhones or
This app
Android?
will be available for iPhone and Android, and if you have a Windows phone, you can also access it through the website. It's, if I'm not mistaken, app.mm2016malta.com.
Awesome. I was just checking the app. It's very useful. Also, in the agenda part, it allows you to set alarms for specific interesting parts of the agenda. So I thought that was very useful for.
Yes, you can add respective parts of the agenda to your own personal schedule, so you can literally plan your own GA.
Awesome. So yes, guys, please download this as soon as they will launch officially the app. You will have to create a profile. I already did that. It's very easy. It just requires an email and I think an email and your name, and that's it. I don't remember by heart, but it's very easy to sign, and it has some very, very cool details. So I think this will ease the GA a lot. People have the agenda and will not require it to be asking about the schedule all the time. So yes, awesome. Diego, do you have any questions to Matthew for now?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do we need Wi-Fi to have the application during the GA?
Yes, Wi-Fi will be provided to you. So, and we've just secured high-speed Wi-Fi. So, fingers crossed and God willing, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Carlos, Rodrigo, any other question? No? Okay. So we will move to the next part. I will show the agenda right now. With Rodrigo's face. So for the agenda, we will briefly discuss the main points of the agenda, and we will provide some tips and okay. So for the agenda for this March meeting, you will have access to this agenda through the app, as Matthew said. The agenda of the GAs are pretty much alike one to the other, but this one has some quite interesting changes and new things that we will discuss. The idea of this part of the webinar is trying to describe all the items and trying to explain you what kind of preparation you need for each one of them in case you need them. So for the first day, we kind of already went through the most relevant parts with Matthew. Matthew, about the registration system, do you know if participants can register uh, one by one, or they have to register by groups?
Well, basically what we're planning to do is have a scanning system. So each person will be given a unique tag on arrival with a QR code. So as long as they register with us, they'll be checked in. We're planning to, we're finalizing our rooming list, and hopefully we'll be accommodating as much as possible to have people organized according to NMOs. So as long as you sign in with us, then you can technically sign in singly, especially if you're arriving at different times.
Okay, and regarding this first plenary we have here, will the plenary take place in the hotel?
Yes, the plenary will be taking place in the hotel.
Okay, so it will be the plenary and then the transportation for the opening ceremony.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's kind of an important remark because that's a little bit different from the other GAs. Usually the plenary takes place in the same venue, so just keep in mind this plenary will take place in the hotel and the opening ceremony will take place elsewhere. So I think you will need to be prepared for the opening ceremony in formal attire for the plenary. That's right, Matthew. So for people, they will need to be dressed up already at 4.
Well, either that, yes. So you can at least tell your delegation to start getting ready in the meantime. So at least the president or whoever is being in the plenary can have, just be the last one to prepare and then just go with the group. At least ensure that by the end of the plenary, the entire delegation has, gotten ready for the opening ceremony.
Okay, cool. Diego, Carlos, Rodrigo, if you have any questions for Matthew, just kind of interrupt. It's fine. Diego, you have one?
No. Rodrigo has.
No, we don't.
Okay. Rodrigo, you have a question?
No.
Okay. So that's the first day. Basically, the first day is arrival day. The first plenary, which is usually quite short, is just the opening of the meeting and the election of the plenary team. Diego will explain a little bit more about what's the plenary team in the next following minutes, and then the opening ceremony, which will be in formal attire. Remember here to bring your flags and to be pretty because there are a lot of pictures taken during this part of agenda. So the actual hard works start on the day 2. You will see that each day has the same green block, which is called SC NMO President Sessions. SC stands for Standing Committee, NMO stands for National Member Organizations, and President Sessions start for the sessions that are attended by the presidents of the National Member Organizations. So we will basically be having one session per standing committee, one session for animal management, and one session for the president sessions as well. Just some tips regarding the president session and the standing committee sessions. I will strongly recommend you to attend the same session each day. I know some of you do not have enough people to attend all different sessions and you wish to do so you can come back to your NMO with some updates about all the standing committees. But you have to keep in mind that the standing committee directors and the sessions team plan out these sessions to have some kind of continuity. So if you go there one day and the next day you go to the other session, you will be kind of lost. And I don't think that will be very very, very efficient for your NMO or for yourself. I will not elaborate a lot on what the standing committee sessions and president sessions are, because each standing committee session, NMO management, and president sessions will be sending what we call a survival kit. What's a survival kit? Basically a manual that describes all the topics that will be discussed. Also, it will discuss if you need to have some reading before the sessions, the agenda for the sessions, and all the information you need to know. Some of the standing committee sessions are creating Facebook groups, so make sure to join them so you can be updated. Rodrigo here will be attending the Scoopy sessions, and Carlos will be attending the Score sessions. Do you guys have anything to say about them?
Carlos, you can start.
Okay. So the idea about like from the regional sessions, it's just like for us to center a little bit more like in the priorities we have in the standing committees in region. And this is a really nice space for you to bring your outcome about like your country and specifically the region has regarding like the specific topics that we discuss in the standing committees. So it is a really nice like opportunity and space for you to like discuss more properly like your attributes to the topic. I don't know if Rodrigo wants to talk about because this is for like non-exchange standing committees, and now Rodrigo is going to explain like the exchanges and everything that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so hey guys, this is Rodrigo, and I just want to say that the morning sessions of Scopy, they will be just amazing. Everything we prepare this with a lot of sweat and hard work from each one of us from the Scope International team, and we're very excited and energetic, and I hope that you guys are also. There, you'll be able to meet NEOs from all over the world, you'll be able to exchange experience, and have lots of fun. One thing that I want to address specifically for the Scope sessions, Scopy and both Score sessions, is that the third day, you guys will have the opportunity to be part of the exchange fair. And in the exchange fair, you have the opportunity to show your country with promotional materials, like you should bring your flags, games, and everything, the most creative stuff to promote your exchanges and say that you guys, the Americas are the best. Okay? And what else? It's good to tell you that we're going to have like a competition. So please, Americas should win this time. Last year we won with FMSA Brazil, and this year we will win again. Definitely. Not, I mean the whole America.
Awesome. So you are definitely recommending people to take their national customs and or kind of merchandising, because the exchange fair is all about promoting your countries for other people to go in exchange. So can you tell a little bit to those that are new, what's the difference between the exchanges fair in March and in August? What's the main kind of difference?
Sure, I can explain. In the past, like until 2003, the database of FMSA, all the documents were exchanged by paper. We didn't have an online database. But after 2003, it has changed. So during the March meeting, we had something which was called the AF market. So people come there with the application forms of all the students, and they started to exchange them to go to look for spots for their outgoings and their incomings. So they also had to bring like the invitation letters for the people. The difference between the contract fair that will take place in August is that in August you start to sign contracts. You sign contracts with the people to the next season. So that's the main difference. In the March meeting, you do not sign contracts, and the other one is mainly signing contracts. So I was saying, now the March meeting is totally different. You don't have to bring AFs. invitation letter, yes, you have to bring. Only if the NEOs ask it for you. So for the March meeting, please take and energy and fun and promotional materials to promote your exchanges. If you have videos, bring it to them. I think, if I'm, do you think that I made myself clear?
Yes, I think that's very clear. I think we could kind of summarize what Rodrigo said, that you need to be prepared in terms of you need to be take a lot of preparation for your national merchandising. Try to take pins, your flags, and stuff to give to the participants. Maybe your national costume. Just try to make a stand that's very representative of your country and the exchanges opportunities that are offered by your NMO. That's the whole purpose of the March meeting, as Rodrigo said in this case. There's also a competition for the best stand, so I really want to encourage you to take a special attention for this part. I think the Americas has a lot of potentials in terms of promotion. So just be creative. Maybe try to make up some games, some typical food. Try to be creative with the merchandising you bring, and so on. So thank you, Rodrigo, for the introduction to Scopy. We were discussing the...
One last thing,
Yeah.
Nacha,
Oh.
is bring your mascots as well. I saw that Quebec is creating their mascot. Ecuador also has one. So bring them to your sessions, to the exchange fair. It will be nice to have you there.
Cool. So for those who don't know, the mascot is basically a teddy or a stuffed animal that is representative of some NMOs. There are some very famous mascots. So if your NMOs do not have a mascot, I really encourage you to think on one. Yes, and take them to the exchange fair. That will be interesting as well. So we were just discussing the standing committee sessions. As I said before, there are president sessions, standing committee sessions, and animal management sessions. I will be attending the president sessions. We have some small issue in our region. We have the language barrier. I know, guys, some of you do not speak very totally fine and understandable. So we will have some different coping mechanisms. We will try to have some sessions after the present session so we can discuss in Spanish what we saw during the morning, so you guys can have a better understanding on the contents that were discussed during the sessions. Also, I really encourage you to say to your standing committee director or the session provider if you're not understanding clearly the content that are being discussed. I'm sure that a lot of people can slow down, maybe use simpler words, but there is stuff that we can do. And if you're maybe too shy to go and interrupt a session, you can always approach me or any member of the regional team, and we will be the ones going to the standing committee directors or session facilitators and tell them to please slow down or use simple words, because it's very important for you that if you take the time and money to travel all the way to Malta, that you will be understanding the session content. Okay, so that's for the language barrier. I invite you to the President's Spanish debriefing sessions, and I encourage you guys to maybe have similar stuff on the other sessions as well. So yes for that. The agenda of the standing committee sessions, animal management, and president sessions will be sent soon. Please check out your emails. Read the survival kits. If you don't understand the survival kits English, please let me know, and I can maybe have an online meeting with you where we can read them together in Spanish. That will be awesome.
Nacho, can I add something from survival kits? Okay, so basically survival kits are like what you need to know that will be gathered in the sessions. It is a guide for you guys to see like what can you like prepare yourselves so what for your interventions during the session. So if I know I'm having an intervention on internal health, I can like bring my experience from my country and prepare it like previously, so I can give like my best effort on giving the discussion like a new point of view or a new, like a fresh perspective, and that is actually active participation. And in the Americas, we want this like to get each time like better, because this is the way that we can capacitate ourselves and share our experiences from the Americas to the world. And I think it is like really important for you guys to know this. Besides from the like adding to the survival kit, there's also the toolkit that some standing committees like may deliver them, and toolkits are like documents or a source of information for the sessions that you can also have access to and actually prepare your interventions from them. So this is also like representing the GAs are not only like for you to learn, but for also like for you to study and create your own ideas to be shared with the world.
Awesome, Carlos. Yes, I think that's a very important thing. You need to know that GA have three kind of steps: the preparation, the GA itself, and what you do after the GA. So it's very important for you, as Carlos says, to read the survival kits. If you're a president watching this webinar, to encourage your delegates to read their survival kits. And I would really like to encourage the idea of having pre-departure meetings within your delegation and go through the survival kits and kind of discuss how can you prepare yourself better to provide input to the session that will be delivered during the GA. I think this is very important. I think that's one thing we can improve as a region, and I think this will help having more meaningful sessions for all. So yeah, I would definitely like to encourage you to do some preparation and some reading before the sessions themselves. I do not have the links, as I said, to the survival kits yet, but I will be sure to share them through the Americas server, to the general server, and to the Facebook groups. So that's for the Sunday community sessions. Then we have lunch. It's very important that what Matthew said, lunch will be ordered the day before. So make sure to remember that. As I read in the app, it will be from 8 to 5. So keep that in mind. If you have any special food preferences, you should have said so in the registration form. If you didn't, and you do have some special food restrictions, I think you should contact the OC as soon as possible, because once you show up there, it's not cool to say, hey, I'm vegetarian, and you register as regular food, because that will bring some complications to the OC, so keep that in mind. Next is NMO hour. What's NMO hour? Basically is sometimes it's just 1 hour that you and your delegates will share together to discuss what you did on your day and what you will be doing for the rest of the day. So it's basically free, open discussing time. If you are a one-person delegation, feel free to join to the other one-person delegations that we'll be having in the Americas. And if you want to have the presence of some of the arrays to discuss some specific points, maybe of myself, maybe of the development assistants, please let me know. I will be happy to join your sessions. I can do so in Spanish and English, not Portuguese or French yet. I'm working on that. Yes, that's for the NMO hour. I really would like to encourage you to take some minutes, maybe record some videos for all your NMO members that are back home. I think it's very important to make them participate in the GA, because we know that from the Americas not many people can attend because of financial restrictions. So I think it's super important for you to kind of take pictures or share the minutes or share some small videos to them. That's something you can use and do during this hour. Does any one of you guys want to add something to the NMO hour time? Yes, Rodrigo? Yeah. No?
I want to.
Okay. Carlos?
Yeah. So besides like having a team building like hour, you know, and actually get to know like, your companion, it is like this time to debate, like to give feedback from the sessions and to apply those like to your national context. Okay, so it's really important like to give the debate. As I told you, like first you need the preparation, but now like the NMO hour is actually like the application that has to be like outcome oriented for the activities that you're planning to do back home when you return from the GA. So this is like the importance, like it is space for you to plan with your team the activities that you can make, and actually this can give you a lot of support when you're planning a project, when you're planning like a campaign, and those things can be really important for you on a future basis.
Cool, thank you. In terms of logistics, you can have the animal hour basically everywhere on the venue or the hotels. It's free for you to choice. So this, yes.
Nacha, I would like to say about the animal body system.
Oh, sure.
I just wanted to share with you that we're having the animal body system for this March meeting. So one of the main ideas that we wanted to share with you is that maybe you can take some time during the lunch or maybe at the animal hour, which animal bodies. So it would be really good to you to have like joint sessions or join your with your animal body, so you can actually be working with both of your animal bodies, so you can help each other during the lunch or either during the animal hour. So please.
Yes, so for those of you who don't know, the animal body system is basically a system that pairs up different animals so they can help and collaborate with each other. We have an international animal body system that you can join, and the small working group on involvement, they will pair you up with some animals around the globe. We will also be having a regional one again. If you want to join, you will be free to do so. The difference between ours and the one from the involvement group is that we aim to create something that will be for the year work, not only the GA. So you might be paired up with some animals that is not attending, but you will be paired up with some animals that is attending for sure. So yes, as Diego said, we really encourage you to share some of your animal hours with your animal buddies. We will be sharing a list of animal buddies soon. So the next point is the small working groups. Basically, this was a new initiative that was created for those of you that sometimes think that GAs are a great opportunity to discuss some topics, but maybe the sessions themselves do not provide the sufficient space for the discussions. So small working groups were created by the Vice President for Capacity Building. He opened a call for small working groups ideas. The call selected some ideas. So we will be having very interesting small working groups. I really encourage you to join during the GA. Because we're a little bit time restricted, I will not discuss every one of the small working groups, but I will be sharing you the small working groups topic with the survival kits in the same email, so you can check them out and see if you can provide your very valuable input in one of them. In the regional sessions, I will discuss this in a little bit because I will be sharing the agenda and the team event. Matthew, could you maybe give us a little bit of input on what the team event is going to be? Matthew, you here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
All right, perfect. So basically, the theme event will be focusing on the Sustainable Development Goals. As you know, the WHO recently went through a shift, or we had the pre-2015 Millennium Development Goals, and now we're focusing on the Sustainable Development Goals. Ideally, the theme event will allow us to understand the transition from those previous goals to the new ones, whilst also allowing us to focus on how they affect health in general.
Okay, awesome. Since we don't have much time to go through all the externals invited, I really encourage you to download the app and check them out there because they're all listed with small pictures and descriptions. So go ahead and give that a look.
Definitely, and we'll be adding more soon.
Thank you. So for the activities fair and the scientific poster fair, I really hope you guys participated on the call for the activities and scientific poster fair, because it's a really interesting opportunity to share the activities you do in your NMO with others, and also to collect some ideas that you can bring back home. The activities fair is basically an open space with around 100 stands of different activities that were used to be called projects, and other called activities from different NMOs divided by assigned committees. So in this fair, you will be able to walk around 100 or so activities that are developed or were created by a specific NMO. You will be able to ask them questions, take some flyers and some information, so you can replicate the activity back home. I really encourage you to attend, and I really encourage you to divide yourself, divide your delegation, so you can all check some activities. If you are the one presenting, I really encourage you to take a lot of preparation and some cool materials for presenting your activity, because there is also a contest of the best activities fair. So yes, I would really like to invite you to join the activities fair. I think this is one of the most fun and cool experiences of the GA, so you should definitely go. And the scientific poster fair will be in the same place. It's basically an open space for members of the FMSA to present their scientific posters. They will be evaluated as well. So yes, I would really recommend you to give that a look. Any of you guys have any input on the activities of the scientific poster fair? No? No?
Guys, try to bring what you got the best, and please present it with all the knowledge that you can, or all the efforts. Be prepared to all the questions that the judges would pose, and you will turn out fine. I'm pretty sure. Don't worry.
Yeah, as Rodrigo said, the judges will ask you some questions about your activity. How do you measure the impact? What are the objectives of your activity?
Definitely.
If your activity is sustainable in time. So try to think on all these questions beforehand.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I really encourage you to go there. Do not miss that. Do not nap during that time, please. I would love to see you all. For the next day, we will have the standing committee sessions again. We will have the lunch, the NMO hour, and we have parallel sessions that are trainings and policy statement discussions. Policy statements are basically papers that IFMSA agree on different topics of relevance for the Federation. Those topics are, the opinion on those topics are expressed on a document that is called a policy statement, and those policy statements are voted and discussed upon the plenaries of the GAs. Basically, NMOs can pair up or meet up and create a policy statement on a topic they consider is relevant for the Federation. But this policy statement has to be discussed with all the NMOs during the GA, and it has to be voted upon during the plenary. So this open space will be here for you guys to ask questions on the policy statements that are being submitted, that will be available on the survival kit for the president sessions. So I really encourage you to read them. I know sometimes it's a lot of reading, so I will maybe like to provide you the idea of sharing the policy statements with your delegation, so each one of you can have some reading and then explain it shortly to the rest of the delegates, so you can be prepared and provide your feedback and inputs to the policy statements proposals. This is very important because sometimes policy statements are created by members of a certain region, and I think it's very relevant that because this policy statement will be adopted by the whole Federation, that each region provides their input based on their regional reality. That is something we're lacking currently as a region, so I would really like to read the policy statements that are being proposed and try to think on whether the statements that are being proposed are in accordance to our regional reality, and if they're not, prepare some information and bring it back to the discussions during this space. For the trainings are basically one of the main areas of IFMSA. Trainings are open space or are a capacity building space for trainers that previously did the training new trainers training or the training on trainers training to provide some trainings on soft skills and other abilities to the members. I will be sending the full list of trainings available. If you are an NMO leader listening to this, I know that sometimes your delegates will want to miss this, but I really encourage you to participate and make them join the trainings. I think they're very productive, and I think you can also take some ideas from them to bring back to your NMOs. So I will be sharing the full list of trainings that will be available. Remember that you will need to sign up for these trainings the day before, or during the same day during the morning. I believe this I'm not sure of yet. Before we go to the plenary, because Diego will be discussing about that in a little bit, we will just review the rest of the agenda, and we will go to the regional sessions of plenary that are the kind of most important part of our webinar. We won't be long, don't worry. So exchanges fair, Rodrigo already discussed it, and the EP debates is basically the executive board of IFMSA candidates debating on the questions that the public will propose. I really encourage you to participate and provide your questions based on your NMO or regional input. Then we have the REX Crossly Award presentations. What are the REX Crossly Award presentations? Basically, the REX Crossly Awards are some awards that are given to the best activities of the IFMSA. You can sign up to be one of the selected activities to present because not all of them get selected. If you applied and got selected, you will have a chance to present your activity in front of an audience and a jury. They will ask you some questions about your activity, and you may be the winner of the Rex Crossly Award, which is one of the biggest awards in the FMSA. The difference between activities fair and activities presentation, basically the fair is a small stand. People will walk by, they will ask you some questions, they will take some information. But the Rex Crossly Award presentation is actually you presenting your activity in front of a full audience, and you will have your selected minutes, and you'll select a round of questions. It will be one project by one. So this is a very, very important opportunity for those who get the chance. Any of you guys want to provide any input on the policy statement discussions, trainings, or the Rex Crossly Awards?
Yeah, I would like just to share with you that we have the regionalization topic on the NMO server. And one of the main problems or stuff that was discussed over there was about the policy statement, about creating a regional policy statement instead of having a international policy statement, which I think you should have a look over there, because we think that sometimes the policy statement does not apply to everyone. Because regarding for the topic, for example, for the refugees, we don't have a lot of issues to discuss as the American region. But in this case, for example, we have another problem that we would like to tackle with the policy statement, which will actually be trying to resolve that with regional policy statement. So I would like to encourage NMO presidents or any delegate to try to give some input about the regionalization, about having regional policy statement. Please feel approach anyone who's submitting a policy statement.
Also, a very important tip is that you can approach the policy statement submitters beforehand. You can send them an email. Per the bylaws, they need to send the policy statement through the official servers for input. So they should be around already, and you are free to send them questions through the email. So I really encourage you to do so. Please read them, please discuss them with your delegations, and please provide your national or regional input with them in that space. Just a small thing, this NMO hour is bigger than the other ones because usually it will be after the EV debates. So you will be able to discuss the candidates. The candidatures are usually the longest discussion part of the GA. So in this space, you and your delegation should kind of agree on who will you vote for the executive board candidates. What I'm missing, only the joint sessions. Joint sessions are basically part of the standing committee sessions that they pair up together and discuss a topic that is relevant for 2 or more committees. The topics of the joint sessions will be shared with you during the standing committee sessions. Presidents do not have joint sessions. This is only for standing committees. The information regarding the joint sessions content will be also shared on the survival kit. So before we go through the regional session and the plenary, I would like to briefly discuss the social program, which is one of the funniest part of the GA, but also the one that requires more responsibility on your side. As Matthew already said, smoking indoors is prohibited, so please don't do that. As a federation, we also have the code of conduct that was created based on some very disappointed comments that were taken during some of the social programs in the past. So the OC will be sharing the social programs content and how to get there and so on. But what I would like to remark on this webinar is basically the responsibility between attending the social program and attending the sessions next day. Remember the huge amount of investment that your animals or yourselves put into attending to this GA. So if you want to attend the social programs, please drink and party until you feel that you will be able to attend next day sessions, because remember, that's the most important part. It's totally fine if you party until 4 a.m., but you know that you will be able to be there at 8 with a smiley face. And if you know that you're not those kind of people that can party and wake up the next day, go bed early, because sessions are the most relevant part. In the social programs, we also have the National Food and Drinks Party, which is one of the most memorable events of the GA. Basically, as the name said, is a party with where each national member organization set up a stand sharing international drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and food. We really encourage you to take both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, because some people do not drink alcohol, and we would like to make this inclusive for also. We know all countries have non-alcoholic beverage, so make sure to have some for those who don't drink. Make sure to have proper labels for those who don't drink as well. For the NFDP, I will, if I can only provide one tip of advice, is be responsible and don't over drink. And if you do, make sure that you will be able to attend the session. Do you guys have any tips or comments on the NFDP?
Definitely.
The
We all have.
Your camera is off, Rodrigo.
You want me to turn on?
Yeah, so we can see your face. Yes.
My internet just fell down on my computer. Don't know why, but I'm on my cell phone. So I just want to address, guys, that about the social programs. Please do not get so hungover. You know, not drink too much, and please, as Nacha said, I want to emphasize that you must be pretty punctual in your sessions, really, because it will be like if you enter in the session in the middle of them, it will be definitely disturbing, and everything we have is prepared based on the number of the people, and maybe it could ruin a presentation for someone. Okay, and with that, I also want to emphasize about the trainings, because some people don't think that the training part of IFMSA is important, but I just want to highlight that it's really important that you have the soft skills, such as leadership and communication and team building, as also the advanced skill, like the training new exchange trainers for the exchanges, and the other ones for Scora, Scorp, and everything. So that's it.
Yes, thank you, Rodrigo. I know that some of you will say, especially if you already attended a GA before, that the topics of the trainings are very repeated one GA to the other, but I can tell you that this GA has some very new and exciting topics. So that's not an excuse anymore. You can join new trainings that will be provided during this GA. That will be very much interesting and very much innovative, so I really encourage you to attend those.
Right.
Yes.
In a training sessions, sometimes it could be the same, but actually it is never the same because it changes a lot depending on the trainer. The trainer can like develop another kind of idea in your thing. For example, if you go to a leadership skills, oh, I have been before in this training, but maybe if you enter that, you will definitely see with different eyes. You know, that's what I mean. So please give this opportunity to the training sessions. I'm really sure that it will develop a lot your skills.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Yes, I would rather emphasize that training sessions are always good for everyone, but especially if your delegation has some new members, please encourage them to attend. As Rodrigo says, soft skills are relevant for our federation and one of the key cores of the FMSA. So make sure to attend, even if you attended the topic before. Matthew, I have a question regarding the social programs. Will we be having cultural show?
Yes, cultural show.
Okay, so the cultural show is basically a space for you guys to show your typical dance or your typical dance to the rest of the participants. Will there be any kind of registration form, or how can the participants apply for it? Because we understand that we cannot see 120 dances.
Mm-hmm. Well, all I can say is just keep your eyes out for some information coming out for the other events as well in the social program. What we usually do for the cultural night is we have a registration form. This is either done before the GA or during the GA itself. Logistically, we haven't decided which we're going to go with, but if we are going to launch it before, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Matthew. So now you have another excuse to bring your national costume, national dress. You can use it on the exchanges fair, on the NFDP, on the activities fair, and on the cultural show. So if you have any piece of kind of cultural costume back home, I really encourage you to take it, even though it might use some space in your luggage. I think it's very nice to see other countries' culture.
And the Anita dance as well.
Sorry?
And the Anita dance as well.
The Anita dance. Yes, I was going to talk about that on the regional session, but we might do some regional cultural thing. In the Americas, we have very beautiful national dances, but because we know that not all of them will be showcased in the cultural show because of funding issues, we were thinking of maybe creating a shared dance. We're thinking on that, and we will be providing more information during the regional sessions, so I really encourage you to attend to those. Okay, so we will now briefly discuss the regional sessions agenda. Let me just... Can you guys see my screen? Yes, no, I cannot hear you.
No.
You cannot?
No.
Wait.
999.
It's good that I asked those things. Now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, cool. So basically, the regional sessions are a session that will be aimed to be provided to a whole region. We are not expecting that many people from the Americas because of the distance and the financial constraints, but we will be at least having 50 or 60 participants, so these will be awesome sessions for us to share our regional topics. This is a picture that was taken during the regional meeting in Uruguay. Yeah. So I will be very briefly discuss the regional sessions agenda. First, we will have introduction to IFMSA and IFMSA Americas. Don't worry about these slides. This webinar will be recorded, and if not, I will be sending this agenda for input and comments on the server as well. We will have the regional assistants and the standing committee directors up space. This is basically 90 minutes that were asked by the standing committee directors to discuss the standing committee priorities for the region. We will have also parallel sessions for presidents. We will have 2 parallel sessions, one on policy statements and one on memorandum of understanding creation, basically both related to external representation, which was one of the priorities that we set as a team on the starting of our term. So that will be this time. If you want to know more information about what will be discussed during the specific standing committee session time of the regional sessions, the standing committee directors will be providing more information on their survival kit. Next and the last topic for this day will be the IOG's presentations and updates. Basically, the internal operation guidelines are a manual that we have to regulate ourselves as a region. This is not the same as the bylaws. The bylaws are voted upon the plenary and are the most important and official document of the Federation. Internal operation guidelines just aim to regulate what is kind of missing in the bylaws regarding our internal operation as a region of the Americas. We during the regional meeting, during the March meeting, and during the August meeting, and all presidents and general members can provide inputs and send modification proposals. I already sent the call for IOG's modifications, so I really encourage you to read them and send some. This space will be used to discuss the IOGs that were sent, and those will be voted during the plenary simulation of the regional sessions that will happen on the second day. So this is the second day of the regional sessions. We will have the first session, that's the wake up. We will have some Anita workshop. This is something that was very requested by the region. Basically, Anita workshop. Anita is basically, if you don't know who she is, I didn't know who she was until the real meeting. She's this Brazilian pop star that has some very catchy songs and very awesome dances. And apparently, she's kind of a big deal for Brazilians. So Carlos will be teaching us how to dance to Anita during this time. And if we manage to do her dancing, we might present this during the cultural show, who knows. So yes, this will be a fun session, and was actually one of the most requested one by you guys. So you can see here, I really listen to your input. Then we will have the Regional Meeting 2016 updates and the Regional Meeting 2017 candidates debate. Basically, here we will have an open space for the Regional Meeting 2016 OC to present their financial report and some comments on how it was for them to organize the Regional Meeting. And we will also have the Regional Meeting 2017 candidates presentation and debates, and open it for questions. Then we have the Regional Action Plan updates, the follow-up and plan ahead. In this space, we will be providing the updates of our work. We will be providing the midterm report of our team, and we will be providing the final report with actual data of how are we working as a team. So I think this will be a very interesting chance. So you can ask questions as a team. You can provide feedback and comments on our work. Then we have regional capacity building events updates. We have something called the SRT, so the regional trainings, which are events hosted by regional NMOs that invite other NMOs to participate in. We have some interesting SRTs opportunities coming up for our region, and during this space, the hosts of those SRTs will be providing their invitations and information about their events to all of you. Then we have the open space discussion. This is basically an open space for you guys to propose topics that you think are relevant for us to discuss as a region. If you want to propose something for the open space discussions, please please make sure to approach me during the same day or the day before so I can manage the timing for this. And lastly, we have the plenary simulation and buffer time. The plenary simulation is basically a small plenary we have in the regional sessions that in here we will be voting for the IOG's proposal and the regional meeting candidates, and if something else show up, another motion show up, we will be voting this here as well. Diego, who is our involvement assistant, he's also the awesome vice chair for the plenary of the GA, and he will be the chair for the plenary simulation of the regional session. So I really would like to encourage you to participate in the plenary simulation because it's a great instance for you to actually understand how plenaries work. So that's all for the regional sessions. I really encourage to participate. We will be having some very entertaining energizers and discussions in the meantime. So I would like to see you all there. Next, we have Diego. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm over here.
Yes, okay. So would you like to explain us a little bit more about the plenaries of the GA?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Nathan. So I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about the plenaries. So we have around 5 plenary that we are going to be having during the GA. So each of them, we are going to be tackling some of the problems that are really important for the Federation. So in the plenaries, we have a plenary team, which is composed by a chair, who's going to be the one who's leading all the discussion through the plenaries. We have a vice chair, who's the one who's helping the chair in case of the chair needs some help during some procedures or anything related to the plenary. And then we have the secretaries. The secretaries are the one who are taking the minutes, and they are the one in charge of recording anything during the plenaries. For example, the policy statement, a statement that you're going to be submitting during the plenary. So if you have any statement or you want to send something as a document, or if you're candidate yourself as an EV port, you have to submit your presentation as well to the secretaries. And we also have the CCC, which stands for the Credential Committee, Constitutional Committee, which are the ones who are reviewing all the bylaws always, and they're the one to review all the candidatures, and they are also the people who are in charge of giving you the voting rights. So one of the main points that you have to submit during the GA is your credential form. This credential form must be submitted to the CCC before the second plenary. So can you give me the last one, just to explain a little bit more about the procedures that we're going to be following, Ignacia?
Which one? Sorry.
The past one. The past.
This one?
I cannot. Yeah, that one. So I'm gonna be explaining this. It's not like I'm gonna be giving you this whole procedure as you're not the NMO president, or if you're the NMO president, I'm gonna be tackling this during the regional session. So the main points that you must know is that we have to follow this motion and debate in every single plenary. So if you're a newcomer or this is your first GA and you're gonna be attending the plenaries, which I totally advise you to do so, you are going to be hearing the chair going through this procedure. And first of all, I would like to tell you that we have motions and all the stuff, that it's not really important, which are going to be said during the plenary. So if anyone wants to add something to the motion that we already have, you have to submit an amendment, which is the first part that we're going to be doing. And after that, if the amendment is accepted, if all the NMOs agree with what we are discussing, we're going to be asking if there are any direct negative. If we don't have any direct negative, it means that all the NMO presidents agree with the thing that we're discussing. If we have any direct negative, it means that you want to vote upon the decision by the whole GA. So I don't know if it's kind of clear, but I'm going to be explaining this a little bit more during the GA for everyone. Can you give me the next one, please?
Yes.
So it's really important for you to know that if you want to second anything, you must be a full member and you need voting rights. So please, if you are if you're not your NMO president and you're a general delegate, I'm gonna be sharing what the NMO president must submit to the GA. so your NMO can have voting rights. So the first step is something that we cannot do any longer, which is to submit the NMO report before February 1st at 23:59 GMT0. So it means that if you didn't submit this before DJ, you're not having voting rights. So we cannot do anything just to suspend the ballots to happen so you can have a voting right. The next point is to update the ifmsa.org and ifmsa.net information. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be sharing with you some useful links for you to use. So if you cannot or you don't know how to update your information on the ifmsa.org, so it will be really helpful for you because most of the NMOs from the region, they don't have submitted your information on the ifmsa.org and ifmsa.net. Also, you need to not have any debts to the IFMSA, which are on the bylaws. It says that it must be less than 10 years. So if you have any question about that, you can ask directly to the EV, or in the MMO server, there is this file from Peter about if you have any debts. And the last part that I was telling you is to submit the credential form to the CCC before the second plenary. So this credential form is where you state the name of your delegates and their position, and it must be signed and stamped for you. So if you're the NMO president, please don't forget to bring your stamp with you so you can second anything on behalf of your NMO. The next one, please.
Yes, one small comment regarding the debts.
Yep.
If you have any debts or you were told you have any debts and you think you don't, or you have any mismatching information, please contact me so I can help you contact the relevant official. We're kind of having some issues with this because of the Vice President of Finance's resignation, so please contact me as soon as possible so we can solve this and you won't have any issues for the plenaries, okay? Yep.
So just to finish with that, you can update your information during the GA and you will be gaining voting rights as well. And also you can pay some of your debts during the GA, but we're trying to encourage you to do all of these before GA so you won't be having any problems during the GA. So here are the useful links for you. So if you have any trouble to update the ifmsa.org information, that's where you can find the information or where you can update it. So if you have any problem with that, you can ask Peter. And if you have any troubles with ifmsa.net, you need to contact Iris. And there's a helpful video for you on YouTube, so you can try to know how to update your ifmsa.net information. Okay? So I'm going to be sharing with Ignacio. Do you want to say something?
No, I just...
Okay. So I just want to felicitate or congratulate the NMOs who have already submitted the information, which are IFM Argentina, IFMSA Quebec, ODEM Dominican Republic, MP Ecuador, IFMSA Mexico, and AMSA USA. So they are having this information already submitted, and I think some of them actually don't have submitted. So this is a huge list of NMOs that haven't submitted. So if you are listening to this and you haven't submitted, please do it as soon as possible so you can have voting rights during the GA. Okay, so the next one, which is also some NMOs that are missing. So on the parentheses is the part that you haven't submitted as part of the for you to gain voting rights. So please, if you're looking this, please tell your NMO president, or if you're the NMO president, please update it as soon as possible so we can be tracking which NMOs are not submitting the information, just to try to encourage them properly.
Yes, even though the bylaws read that this information should be submitted before the second plenary, we really encourage you to do this before. Don't leave this for the last minute because you might encounter some technical issues during the GA or whatever. So voting rights is extremely relevant for an NMO, so please make every step beforehand. If you have any questions on how to update the database, you can see the video that Diego posted here. And if you're still confused on how to update one of the database, please contact me or Diego as well. We will be available through WhatsApp or through our official emails. Okay.
So I've been just being lazy. Yeah, it's fantastic. It is.
Okay, so that's the last part of the webinar, the plenary. Guys, do you want to share any other tip, any other information regarding the the GA? Anything we might be forgetting? No? Okay. So some last comments. Please remember the voting rights are the most relevant thing. Secondly, remember to read the survival kits and be prepared and try to read on the topics that we'll be discussing during the sessions. Thirdly, try to see who your animal buddies are so you can prepare some conjoined animal sessions. And try to think beforehand that if you will be able to participate in cultural show activities fair and so on, so you can prepare the materials that will be required. And last but not least, don't forget to update the registration info on the official website so you will have your transportation available. This is very important because if you don't fill the traveling information, the OC cannot know when will you be arriving. Therefore, you might not get a pickup. So please keep that in mind. I think that's pretty much everything covered. Any last comments, guys?
Yes.
No?
Yes, of course.
Rodrigo?
Guys, be excited. Malta is coming. We are coming to Malta. So I really hope that you guys have a nice flight so we can meet there in Malta and have lots of fun in our sessions, and everything will be like very productive. I'm pretty sure that you will love it. If it is your first experience in a GA, it will be remarkable for you as it was for mine last year in Turkey. This will be my third GA, and I am totally looking forward for it. Okay, so wish you guys all the best, and see you in Malta.
Awesome.
Yes, Matthew, any last words for those that are about to take the trip to Malta? Any OC comments?
From our end, we're really excited to have you all. Don't forget, I said to not pack. We have some really exciting things planned for you. Unfortunately, I can't tell you everything because we have a few surprises planned. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for social program information, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Sorry, I was just told my microphone has some background. So I'm sorry, but you were able to hear my question, so it's fine. So yes, as Rodrigo said, this is a awesome opportunity. My first GA was a long time ago. I was in Baltimore. I still remember it, but I still think that it would have been a better experience if I had some preparation. So I think it's very important to you that you saw this webinar because that will make you a better prepared delegate. Remember to read your survival kits, to read all the information that will be shared, and also remember to have fun, to meet new people, to have new contacts. And if you have any questions throughout the GA, please make sure to approach me or any of the regional team members. I'm sure they will see as well. So I will just very quickly check if we have any questions. Oh yeah, we do. Sorry. There is some people.
I just want to add something first.
Yeah, sure.
Like the best thing about GAs is not only like sharing ideas with other people, but like trying to like gain advocacy skills. I think like we can get empowered in so many ways to get back to our colleges and actually shape-shift what we think about health and what we think about like what we can do as medical students and as future doctors. And I think medicine wouldn't be like the same without new ideas, and I think we can carry ourselves like new ideas in our bags and actually get into understanding how society works and what we can do for it in terms of changing minds. And I think that's nice because we don't usually think about doctors in that way. And it's not only about being doctors, it's about being better people. So that's it. I wanted to say that.
Oh. Thank you, Carlos. Sorry, your beautiful face was not shown because I was just reading the comments. I think that's a lovely input. We have some questions. Alejandro Mesa is asking if he's not his anymore president, but he's in charge of the delegation. Should I put in a credentials form under the position? Yes, if you're not the anymore president, but you are the suitable alternative. So it's either the animal president filling that out or the head of delegation, how we call it. So yes, you're definitely in position to fill the credential form, and that's something you need to do if you want your animals to have voting rights. Please keep in mind that the person who signs as head of delegation in the credential form is the same one that will have to be signing the motion forms of the motion for seconding other motions. This is something some people do not know. It's in the bylaw, so please make sure that the person signing as head of delegations is the same person that will be sitting in the NMO spot as the NMO representative, because it's sometimes confusing and people change. And actually, the people signing the motion should be the same one signing the credential form as head of delegation. So yes, that will be it for the webinar. If you have any questions about the content that was discussed here, please don't hesitate to contact me. Yes, do we have any other questions from the people watching? Okay, so I think we're good with that. I would love to see you all in Malta. Also, one of our viewers is his birthday. Happy birthday, Victor! I know you have been waiting for our happy birthday. So yes, see you all in Malta, and have a great trip. Enjoy it, and we will have some fun there. So thank you guys. Thank you all for participating as well in the webinar. Carlos, Diego, Matthew, and Rodrigo, who has this very funny rose face. No, he's not frozen. Okay, thank you guys for joining us today, and see you in Malta.